Hey, hello. So this is will hopefully be a speedrun of Ori and the Will of the Wisps NMG. If you're looking at the any percent no map glitch, I was an idiot as it was pointed out to me last night by the Ori community. I submitted the wrong name. It's no menu glitch, which the run is still the same thing, but we will be using the map for a glitch later on in the run, so don't look at that part. We're just not using a menu glitch, which lets you beat the game significantly faster. It's shown to NMG, which confuses a lot of people because that's usually no major glitches, but we will be using major glitches, skipping walls, and all the other fun speedrun stuff. So yeah, time starts when I select easy mode, because easy mode means fast, and we like going fast. So if someone has their finger on the button, 3, 2, 1, go! So one thing that annoys a lot of people with this run is there's a lot of quitting to menu, because that skips a lot of cutscenes. So like we skip the prologue, then we quit to menu to skip another slow cutscene, then we go back into the game to get back control of Ori, and then we start playing the game casually, because who doesn't love a nice casual playthrough? You know, just youtube.com/insert full run of casual here 100%. And we're basically going to start collecting like some money. Purposely jump on there because this will break in a second, and let us fall down. There we go. And then around 30 seconds in, we're going to do the first sequence break, because we like getting items out of order. So pick up this, head down, and we're going to grab the torch, which is the one sort of like item we can use repeatedly to let us stall in the air, which we will abuse to hell and back at the start of the run, as long as I play this right. Which I do. This lets us get up here. We're not supposed to be up here right now. We're supposed to go down, get the sword, it'll teach us a bunch of stuff. However, doing this lets us get certain items early, lets us do things backwards, and essentially just reroute the entire game. So we go from, hey, you need to fight these bosses, going from all these like slightly precise jumps if you don't do it right, like I'm doing right now, like there. I'll get this eventually. There we go. And usually the first item we get is a sword, and you will see that because when we go to get it, it will try and show us a cutscene. There won't be any other fancy cutscenes for getting abilities. It's just, hey, you bought an item. Hey, you got an ability. But for the sword specifically, and you will know, it'll go, oh, you're supposed to get this first, because it tries to present itself. So here it's just random pauses to skip some text boxes, because that's just the way it works. And if there are any donations, like now is probably a good time to get one in, because it's just like a couple of precise jumps here. There's nothing much interesting going on aside from like trying to navigate around here with way less mobility than you should have. If not, I will carry on talking as we just collect more money to pay the guy for an ability we want. Also the fun launch. Okay, now we have money, we buy the Sentry, and this is going to be crucial for a lot of the movement tech in this game. As it's... combining the different abilities lets you do a lot more movement than like the game initially intended. So for example, the first thing you're going to see us use with the Sentry for some like weird movement is something called I think like a bow launch, if I remember what the community calls it. And basically, it's lots of frame perfect inputs. You will hear me say that a lot. It's like, oh yeah, I need to do this frame perfect input, this frame perfect input. And you'll eventually see, oh wait, this is frame perfect, as I probably messed it up multiple times trying to get it. So, run starts out, literally just get all the abilities you need to beat the game, because there's like a gauntlet at the very end. And as soon as you have all the abilities, it's just beeline for it. You able to escape like every single dungeon, every single other ability. And you'll see a lot of interesting and maybe not developer intended. Like, you'll see what I mean when we get to it. It's certainly something to see if you have no idea what's going on, and I will explain at the time. But now we have our first set of abilities, and we need to start just opening the way. There we go, that enemy was not in the way. That enemy so many times gets in the way of just hitting that switch. And apparently I'm getting away from with myself hitting this switch up here. Wait to zoom out, there we go. Wait to hit this one again. There. These eyeballs are literally just to progress, so again, any donations, now's a good time. It starts off pretty slow as a run, as I just want to despawn a really annoying enemy, because I want to show off a fun glitch as well, where, for whatever reason, you can launch yourself off these poles, like quite acrobatically, and if as soon as you do that, you hold the boat, it lets you keep your momentum. So you're going to see I'm going to hold this, I'm going to start falling, I'm going to launch it, and I go, whee! Straight back up again. Ta-da! And again, now it's just very casual play, just progressing to the end. Till we get to another frame-perfect trick. Or like, what is like the first proper frame-perfect trick at least. Which, I'm going to explain it now, so you'll understand what's going on, if there's no donations.
Gearthar donated $50. Hey, runner from the Blazing Chrome run here. I said I'd donate $5 per death, but since I only had one death I figured that I should add a 0 to my donation. Thanks for having me, ESA, and let's hit that 115k goal.
Nice, yeah. We're coming up now to what is called an arrow drop. And usually what you need to do here is lower this acid, go around and hit this switch below me. But if I get this right, get this properly. Nope, frame late. Frame late. There we go. You can drop the arrow through the floor to hit the switch, which opens up this door. And that skips you having to go way out your way to lower that hit there. But the issue is, the next ability we want is still through that. But like I said, you need to go out your way to go lower all the poison. So instead, we're going to abuse the way that the game was set up by the developers, is you're supposed to lower it. So there's areas below there you can navigate. And so they still have checkpoints down there. And while the lava's up, those checkpoints are actually still active. So if I listen carefully for audio cues. Checkpoint 1. You can just swim straight through it. And that lets you just get straight to this next area. There's a fun thing where if you open the return to main menu screen, it just completely stops your fall speed. So you can extend things a little bit like there, make it without having to do anything too fancy. Then we're going to come up, hit the switch, and we're coming up to, as well, I do not have the mana for this, actually. And I do not have the sword yet. Whoopsies! This is called Stream Nerves, as this is my first actual in-person marathon run. So expect things like this to happen. I do apologize. I will try not to put us behind schedule. There we go. That's what I was supposed to do. Hold this switch, put it to menu to skip the cutscene, and we're back again. So yeah, as I mentioned before, a bow lift. This is it'll be 3 frame perfect inputs in a row, and you will see see what it's supposed to do, as it skips you having to go around, because we don't have the abilities we're supposed to have right now, because, you know, we skip them in the name of fast. And so we need to go back the way we came with not the right abilities. So this ability is the dash. And dash is good because dash is fast. So first things first is we need to get a little bit more money. So we're going to come down here to grab this. Grab this, go through here, and here we need to time, I need to time this right. And what you'll see is, from here, I'll get a launch. There will be a lot of crushing Ori here. So, again, any donations, read it out here. Nearly got it.
Giron donated $5. Let's go Christian, my little pogchamp. Keep being based playing Ori and the red pilled of the Wisp. Go off, king.
I will try my best. Let's see how many times I need to crush Ori for this to happen. I was tempted to say, hey, I'll do a donation for how many times I have to do certain tricks. However, I think, as you can tell from this, I would go broke. ESA would love it. However, my bank account would not. Especially as either with nerves or different computers, I'm having random different timings that I have to do. So my entire muscle memory is learned, and I spent the last 3 hours relearning it. I need to crush Ori again. I'm not even getting half a lift. Come on, mate. Okay, I know I mentioned a casual playthrough before, but this may end up being faster. I'm deeply sorry for exposing you to what is just crushing Ori over and over again. I really need to get past this section. There we go. Up there, eventually. That's what was supposed to happen the first time. So yeah, that's what was supposed to happen. Here, I need to try and do this awkward jump, navigate with enemies trying to kill me. Luckily, that fell. Okay, and I need to position this just right. I'm aiming Ori's thumb, and if I get it right... Nope. I have one more attempt to do this. Otherwise, I need to redo a couple of jumps. Can clip right out of bounds. Make it. Ah! Spikes. Okay. So you see what happens. You do that, you clip out of bounds, and we'll do some interesting shenanigans. Okay, that'll despawn the monkey. And hopefully that'll mean there'll be less chance. Hey, more mana and health. We like to hear it. I was going to get that cutscene later on anyway, so getting it here doesn't really matter. There we go. I have more health to do this clip now. There we go. Out. And here we're really playing with fire, as there's a lot of zones where you can void out and it'll take you back to the last checkpoint. So I need to really concentrate on here. Nope. Because we're loading and unloading a bunch of a collision. Nope. To let us skip back to the sword. Which hopefully I will get. However, that's what happens if you're slightly wrong with it. Is there's a lot... The way it works is each area is its own scene. And if you're not in a scene for a long enough time, it will take you back to the last checkpoint because go, oh, they're out of bounds. They shouldn't be here. Let's take them back. Or they've obviously fallen and the game's kind of, you know, bugged out a little bit. We should take them back. Which in a casual playthrough is great, but we're in a speedrun and we want to be out of bounds. Just get back out of bounds. And the tough part is we can't see Ori and we can't see the actual collision we're going off. So you just need to know where it is, just tell. And understand from small little cues when it's happening. Nope. Survived it. If you fall too far, that's when you fall. Nope. I'm choking. Actually, it's not me choking, it's the game. Because who needs to take responsibility for your own runs? At least this enemy's not here. I hope people like watching people concentrate, because that's what I'm having to do a lot here. If you don't, tough luck. Nope. Nearly, that was close. It's been a while since I've struggled this much with it. I think it's literally just stream nerves and maybe a little bit of marathon luck. Because we all love marathon luck, don't we? There we go. There, 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 there. There we go. Okay, now I really hope some spikes are going to despawn in this despawn now. Otherwise, I'm going to be in a tough because I'm going to need to like back out and do it again. This spikes did not. For whatever reason, I need spikes to despawn here, so I'm going to try changing the setting and going back. I'm going to do that, 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 that. Because that seems to fix it last time. Go all the way back here. Come back. Spikes are still there. That. Do that. Do that. Do that. If I die, I need to do it all again. Please, spikes have despawned. Okay, nice, they have done. So now what I can do is a janky slowdown, which is switching between a control schemes by holding the mouse button and a thing. And now, there we go, I'm back in bounds. And this is the sword. And you see, as I was saying before, this is the first ability you're going to get. So it's like, wow, look at this, you have this. And we're like, we've already seen these trees, we have the abilities. And now we have the sword and the sentries, which lets us do things like that, which is a sentry jump, where if on the same frame you do an up slash and a sentry when you're on the ground, it sends you significantly higher than it's supposed to. And this is where we can entirely break everything apart. So now if we have time for a donation as well, because it's just making our way through some basic platforming, not really doing much interesting. Probably got time for one or two. I was not supposed to save there, but it's fine. I just need to instead warp back here. Nothing? Okay. In that case, I'll explain what we're coming up is we're about to commit a crime and we're going to go rob someone blind. As there is a merchant that has a couple of little abilities we want to allow us to make things easier and also just in general possible. And that's this guy. Is we have 213 coins, but if you count, we've just spent 150, 250, 350. Because it's possible to sort of make the game forget that we're spending money until after we've already spent it. And from that, we're just able to get these 3 abilities while only having to get like 200 actual things of currency. Nice. Doing this skips over a boss trigger. And so that, again, skipping bosses equals fast. And again, we just want to get over here to get to the next area. We're supposed to go down that area first and get another ability, but because we don't actually need the ability to finish the game, we're able to just kind of skip over it here. And just meet a frog who we're just going to run past. He does have story implications, but again, story slow. And here's a cutscene we can't skip, sadly. They're going to talk about, hey, the water's poisoned, it's bad water, sad water, please lower the water, start the mill up, so we do it. And we go, oh, that's to the left. I'm going to go right instead. Because to the right is where we want to go. Because now we essentially have all the abilities we need to beat the game. We can just start clipping out of bounds, you know, ignoring walls as you do in the speedruns. And this way is where the final boss is, so this is the way we're going to go. We hit a checkpoint, we come back, because developers are smart, they extended checkpoints slightly out of bounds. And so we just go, okay, we'll abuse that, get out of bounds, hit checkpoint, come back to where we need to be. So here you see the big final boss, who, if you don't know, is actually part goat, and that will be explained at the end of the run. We're also going to introduce another fun bit of movement, which is a sentry dash, which means if you're on a slope and you do this, this, and this, you go very high. And this basically skips having to do a bunch of the platforming challenges, which is a little bit faster if you're doing it this way. You need to wait for a cycle here, sadly. But that will come in a lot more handy as a necessary thing later on, just because of just how much height it gives you. So here again, it's just platforming through. Stalling, hit that. To collect the keystones, because we want to open the door. Here, collect 2 keystones, this lets us open the door, we come through, da-da-da-da-da. And there we go, wait for this door, because it opens up like this, you can just jump at the top, through there. We want more mana. We're going to do another sentry jump here, because the game tries to slow Ori down, to make you kind of go, hey look, here's some plot. But if you can just jump over that trigger, we do. And this is actually a major skip, because this skips you having to see your friend Ku. And we can just do a sentry dash like that, up the slope, skip that, and now we've skipped a major part of the game, which is half of it, where you meet Ku, you go through this area, but we're doing it Ku-less, and again, like that, we skip doing that. And now we have a really annoying clip, which anyone that speedrun this game knows about, which is this one. Because we need to be in the exact perfect place with frame perfect inputs. And we got this, sometimes the gravity well doesn't spawn, which helps pull Ori in, because you need to be in a very specific position. And this is one of those tricks, you either get it first try or 50th. So if there's any donations while I attempt this, then that would be great. Otherwise, again, concentration phase comes back. as I just attempt to come through and send Ori to the Shadow Realm of Out of Bounds. Nope. It's only frame perfect, you know? Welcome to my casual playthrough of Ori and the Will of the Wisps, at least in length, where most of it is spent slashing your sword and dashing here. I promise this is entertaining. You had this with bow lift, you have this with this clip. There we go. Then we come up, we hit a checkpoint behind there. And now we're on the other side of the door. Usually we need Ku to come and get a bunch of those. However, like I said before, spikes. Slightly too slow on the first one, so now I need to go here. Oh, like that instead. There we go. Get there. Get up here, and we can just do a downward slash to get us through there without having to open that. Come through here. See? I'm just gonna like buy that to give myself some extra mana, because extra mana is always nice. Oh wow, actually I can't do this anymore because I have no health. Because I need to do a single damage boost to get through the next area, which is here. Nope, not enough health. Kill this guy for mana. Oh, and health as well. Nice. But he gives you that. Go. Now I have more health, so I should be able to do a little bit more when it comes to a just damage boosting through this, like that. Usually you would try and not do a damage boost strat for that, but if you're having terrible luck with central launches as I am, yeah, you just take the punches. And again, this is another time where a sentry dash comes in because you go like that. Nope, a little bit too far forward. There. There you go. That sends you massively up here, and then we're going to skip another section where usually we would see Ku. Like, because this is all, you need Ku to do all this stuff usually, but you can just kind of skip all the cutscenes, go above it. I've got plenty of mana to try this. There we go. Just need to get one good sentry jump here. Like that. And now we have skipped everything to do with Ku and the feather you'd usually get that would give you a glide ability. And we're coming on to what will probably be, if depending on how it goes, the longest part of this attempt, as I need to do 3 in-air sentry launches in a row. Because what this is going to do, technically we're storing a cutscene. Because we're going through like a trigger where you go, okay, there's a cutscene. Next time you hit the floor, please start the cutscene. However, we're going to do something called a cutscene lift, which is kind of abusing the way cutscenes work. Is if Ori isn't on the ground during a cutscene when they're supposed to be walking, they're just going to go, okay. Go straight up until they meet the next bit of ground they can walk on. Nearly. Nope. And so, usually you need to do 3 of these, but I have a backup where I only need to do 2, which will be great for marathon because less is better. And the reason we keep on hitting these is this refreshes our dashes. Why can't I get these now? Come on. I practiced so hard on this. You telling me just because I practice means I don't automatically get it? Have you got any donations while I am attempting this? Nearly.
Anonymous donated $100.
Oh, just 100. Nice. No message, no nothing. Just 100? I was expecting a cool message, especially with 100. There we go. So that's what it should look like when I get it. I need to do that once more. Nope, that's not it. So now I need to do that again. So I'm back to needing to do 2. Because you saw a ledge just at the top left of the screen there. That's where I need to get on top of. Because that's where the cutscene lift is going to happen. And you'll see it and you'll go, oh wow, that's really cool. See, so there it is, first try. Just need to do that again. Please work. As long as I got this right, you won't see it now, but Ori should be in the ceiling, please, in the ceiling. There we go, in the ceiling. And this skips the entirety of the last dungeon. We'll just void out there because we hit a checkpoint, it takes us back. And then we need to do one more in air, sentry dash. We're going to clip out of bounds here. I'm going to get that one first try. Nope, I'm going to void out again, so we need to clip out of bounds again. There's a lot of out of bounds in this game, if you can't tell. I'm sure the developers are really appreciative of what I'm doing here. It's like their lovingly crafted game, really nice narrative. If you ever played this game casually, gorgeous music, and we're just kind of going, nah, not for me. Oh, I got this first try, come on. This first try and then never again, obviously. I am ChristianRoyle, the balancer of schedules. We're ahead, now we'll be on time again. If not, way far behind. There we go. Okay, nice. Saved it by getting up here. Nice, there we go. Basically, we're doing a lot of out of bounds here where you can't see Ori, and we're just kind of balancing on geometry. Because we want to skip a auto-scroller here, which at this point might have been faster to do, but it looks nowhere near as cool. There we go. There's that. And we're dancing again, dancing around void out zones. Here, just kind of blind platforming. You just kind of have to know where Ori is from practice to get into this area, because we're getting the last ability, which is the launch, which, again, helps us get through the last gauntlet a lot easier and faster. And maybe just in general, because it's a very useful at just throwing Ori whenever you need them. And here it is. We're now coming up to the final area, and it's like I said, we get all the abilities and you just kind of make a beeline. There's so much stuff you usually have to do with Ori. You need to like clean the water for all the animals and everyone else. You need to go through and cleanse a sand kingdom of a worm. But instead we go, no, we just want to go. We want to fight the giant stone owl that is part goat. Exiting here is like, because we skipped the one way that makes an opening for this area by skipping the elevator. We have to put it to menu as this lets us get back in. And we're going to do an extended launch. Oops, let's not do that. There we go, and nice speed boost there. So yeah, any more donations as we just go through cutscenes? Because now it's just going to be a long gauntlet of, oh, we'll give them all these platform abilities. They have all they have everything they need to do this. And we're like, I skipped like 90% of these. And it is not the easiest, especially because it's all cycle-based, so you miss one cycle and you kind of have to make it up on the fly of what you're doing. Again, we're just abusing the fact that there's things we can hit to refresh all our abilities, as that is a very core part of this. Section is refreshing abilities. Not doing that, which is just missing enemies. There we go. I was able to stall out that, otherwise that would have been bad. Okay, so that's the first half. That's the first half of this section done. There's another tougher gauntlet now where the floor does not exist, it is merely spiked, and it is entirely based on these cycles. And again, funny thing here is the devs just didn't put a hurt box like at the very bottom of that. So we can just kind of walk through it. And again, here's a cycle we need to wait for because we want this to throw us a certain way. It goes this way, then I hit the spikes again, so we need to go through it, go slightly off. There we go. This, like this, this. Jump out, wait, throw myself this way, like here. Missed that because I just missed it. This is my least favorite part of the run just because of how bad the cycles can be. And nice, save that part instead of hitting the spikes. That's always nice. I was too slow, so it just hit me on there straight away. Nice. Whew. Nice, there we go. So that's essentially the gauntlet done, and now essentially, usually in this, you're supposed to break all of these orange sort of like parts. However, instead, we're going to use the fact that the outside and inside of the dungeon are technically in the same area, because it's all on a 2D plane, really, for the map. And so I'm going to clip through the wall here as soon as I get this. This clip. As soon as I get this clip. As soon as I get this clip. As soon as I get this clip. I will say as soon as I get this clip as many times as it takes. Again, these are all like very precise and frame perfect because you need to dash and then slash your sword at like, I think it's however many frames apart it is. You just kind of go muscle memory, usually. But again, marathon nerves and me, there you go, clip back out of bounds. There we go. I'm going to switch to a mouse and keyboard because it's slightly easier for this. Oh, mess that up a little bit. Needs to drop back down. Go. There we go. So now we go 2. Yeah. That goes back. Gets out that little area out of bounds. Over to here. And now we're just going to kind of like spam a little bit. As this is how we need to clip back in bounds here, because this area here is like the end of the dungeon. This is like the area you would get to when you unlocked everything. There we go, clip back in bounds, and now we're gonna make our way to the final boss, where we have a very, very precise clip. This doing all that upwards stuff just gets you to the boss faster because there's a bunch of slowdown. And I messed up the setup a little bit, so I'm just going to do this to get back in because it's very precise and there is a setup. Nope. Because we need to clip underneath because we're going to do something a little bit weird. And eventually I will get this. It's not easy. There we go. Out of bounds. Now I need to listen for the boss. Because we're waiting for him to do a certain attack. And once he's done that attack and leaps into the air, we're gonna show why he's part goats. I don't trust that one. Gonna open the map, gonna zoom out, and scare the boss dead. Ah, it's part goat. And now that's not time, because basically the way Ori works is we have this massive long cutscene because there's still inputs we need to do. But that's essentially the run. It's now a walking simulator. But the way that kill works is we get out of bounds to load certain scenes into memory. So there's certain objects in place. And when it comes to the boss's hitbox and the map, they're linked by being on the same layer. Of like in games, they have different layers for different sort of like parts. And when you zoom out on the map, it distorts and stretches the layer, which means it distorts and stretches the boss's hitbox. And in some of the scenes we loaded, they know that we might have some spikes, so we just kind of take the boss's hitbox and just stretch it into them. And it just goes, okay, I guess that's me done then. And so the boss is dead, it just nukes his health down. And that's essentially the run. And the time is when Ori collapses at the feet of the Orb of Light. And we'll have a nice touching moment. The music is amazing in this game, but in the context of a speedrun, you see all these characters you've just not paid attention to, I guess. Are there any more last-minute donations? Nope. In that case, I'm just going to give some thanks. Like, ESA itself is doing a really good cause, and to Save the Children for, partnering with it, doing a really good job. The people that helped me inside the Ori community, and the people that made all the tutorials that have taught how to play this game. If you just go to Ori runs, they have for both Will of the Wisps here and also a Blind Forest. It's a really welcoming community. Everyone's like super helpful with everything you need. So yeah, Ori and the Will of the Wisps in probably longer than I would have liked it to happen, but it's done. It happened. Thanks to ESA for having me. This is my first in-person marathon event, and it's been really fun. As nerve-wracking as it has been. I hope everyone else has had a good time here as well. Had some laughs at me failing, laughs at my terrible sense of humour. The orb of light that we're going to collapse at a time, I will count you down when it's about to happen. And now we have the walk. Characters we have not seen at all in this game. I'm sure there's a really touching story. But if you've not played this game casually, I do recommend it. It's really good as well. It's got a real nice story. We saw the frog for a second. Like, we spoke to him. He gave us extra mana and health. We didn't pay attention to that. We just kind of took it and ran. Then we see one more set of characters, which are the Moki. Yep. Okay, and time is coming up now. As soon as we collapse. So in 3, 2, 1, time. There we go. Whew. Ori Will of the Wisps. Yeah. Whew. That was a lot more stressful than I thought it was going to be. But it happened. Frame perfect tricks were done. Non-frame perfect tricks were also done. I hope a good time was had by all. So yeah.